This is a CLI tool from ASI One. It's an agentic AI model you can run from a Python CLI. It's either really useful or it's just another agent that falls apart the second you try to automate it. That's what we're going to find out here. We have videos coming out all the time. Be sure to subscribe. Now, ASI One is already a platform, but their CLI tool is new. Most AI tools right now start with a dashboard. ASI One can now start in the terminal, which sounds small, but it actually changes a lot. Because there isn't a UI-first product, it's not a prompt playground anymore like others trying to be a workflow tool. It's a CLI, an API, and an agent-style behavior all in one. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. We can just integrate it right into our workflows. But it could also be a trap because a lot of these tools fall apart with time. And if this is real, then our command should actually work here. This is the entire setup. A Python CLI calling the AS1 API. The custom script that I have here is what you use when you actually want to wire into your system. You'll see token streaming, cool, but that's not the point. The point is that this isn't a chat UI covered up like an API. It's just HTTP, headers, and JSON. Now, since I have the script, I can now just run this and paste in a question here. I'll do something like, let's plan to build a CLI that monitors logs and detects spikes, output only the plan. Then we get a rather detailed output here, as you could expect. Another nice fact here is that the CLI script version will actually remember context so you can keep going. Now I can keep going with a question like, why? Which is exactly what we often want as a developer, and we can expand on this context. Now, if you need fresh data, then it also can do a web search using the parameter web search like this. I'll ask, what changed in Python 3.14 recently? Give me 5 bullet points. We're going to do web search and stream. But it still doesn't mean it's useful, even though it produces this. So the real question is now, why should you care? Because if this works, it slots into workflows, scripts, SSH sessions, CI pipelines, and if it doesn't work, then it's just another thing you can't trust in automation. It's nice to have a tool that isn't just nice to have, but something you can actually wire up and forget about it. So now we do the thing most agent demos avoid. Now, instead of creating a CLI script and running it with a stream, we can actually just pip install it as well, which is going to shorten out the commands when we actually run them. So this does give us less flexibility, but also allows us to just run this faster. After I pip installed everything, we can prompt it out just by saying now ASI1, explain why stateful sessions matter for automation, run it. Here you can see it spins up a quick interface and then outputs our answer for us. Now for this pip install version, there is one issue that's a huge drawback in my book. It doesn't actually retain any context like the CLI script does. So do with that what you will. Now, okay, when ASI1 says agentic, it really means 3 specific things here. 1, stateful sessions. Then you have multi-step reasoning, and then it can defer work and continue later, which really just means it's not prompt in, text out. It's closer to a workflow you can keep going. Now, quick point here. Agent frameworks are everywhere. Yeah, so most of them look great in a demo and then fall apart in real usage. The bar is, does this hold up when you script it? We generated that CLI script, you could integrate that into one of your workflows, and the answer is sometimes, which brings me to the trade-offs. First, what does ASI1, the CLI tool, do really well? Well, first, it's OpenAI compatible API. You already know how to call it. That's easy. Then it's CLI first, not UI first. That's rare, but it's also intentional. Then it is Python native, which is great when we're diving into our scripts. There's no DSL, there's no YAML stuff. And the last one is session state lives where it should, in the protocol, not in your app. Those are real nice for us. But then the downsides are still here, because there are a few. API access isn't obvious. It actually took me a while to find it, longer than it should have. This is still early stage tooling, so the ecosystem is small, and like every agent system, reliability depends heavily on how you design the workflow. This is not just plug and play. So who is this actually for? If you're building automation, internal agents, or infra-level AI workflows, then this might be worth checking out. If you want a polished chatbot or a nice-looking UI, this is not that, but that's fine. It's just important to know what you actually need in your workflow. AI tooling is moving down the stack away from products towards primitives. CLIs are back, and agents are starting to look less like platforms and more like composable tools. ASI One, the CLI tool, fits squarely into that shift. I'm not saying this is the future of agents, but it is one of the better implementations that I've played around with so far. Check it out, spin it up below, and we'll see you in another video.